Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to share with you how to make 3 amazing sandwiches. So these are not your average vegan sandwiches. Oh no, these are restaurant quality masterpieces. They're so full of flavor, I know you're going to love them. Each of these recipes is going to make 2 good sized sandwiches. I figure if you're going to put the effort into making one, you might as well make 2, and they're so good, you're definitely going to want more than just one. As usual, the recipes will be written in the description box down below. So this first one I'm going to show you is a veganized version of this sandwich that I used to love when I was a server at a very popular restaurant. It was a best-selling item on the menu, and for good reason too, because it is absolutely delicious, and this is one of the best things that I've ever made. It's a baked tofu, brie, and fig jam sandwich. All right, so let's get cooking. The first thing we need to do is get the seasoning ready to put on the tofu. In a large and flat container, mix 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of water, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar or some other type of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. So mix the seasoning up and allow it to sit for about 10 minutes. This will help the Italian seasoning absorb some of the liquid and not burn in the oven on the tofu. Next, cut some extra firm tofu into 2 3/4-inch slices like this. And then what I actually like to do is score the tofu on both sides, kind of make like an X pattern, and this gives the seasoning somewhere to go and help it crisp up. Add the tofu slices to the marinade and give them a quick press to help get some of the flavors in there. Flip and repeat for both slices. Put that tofu onto a baking tray, add another spoonful or 2 of that marinade, and then pop it into a preheated oven at 400 degrees. And we're gonna cook this for about 35 to 40 minutes in total. So while the tofu's baking, we're actually gonna slice up some green apple, which is also gonna be going in the oven soon. So cut the apples into 1/4-inch slices, and then we're actually gonna toss them in a bit of cinnamon. Once the tofu's been baking for about 20 or 25 minutes, you wanna pull it out, throw the apples onto the baking tray, and then pop it back in for another 10 or 15 minutes. So of course you could have this with any type of bread that you want, but what they used to serve it with at the restaurant I worked at, and what I think goes perfectly with it, is a nice ciabatta bun. So I'm just gonna slice these in half without hopefully slicing my finger along with it. And then I'm just gonna fire them into the oven just to toast up a little bit while this stuff finishes. So it should be just a couple minutes more, so it should be perfect timing. So now that the ciabatta is nicely toasted, on the top half, I'm actually gonna add some of this vegan brie. So if you don't have any vegan brie, you can use your favorite vegan cheese, and if you want, you could even use some sort of mayonnaise or something like that, just something that's nice and creamy. And then I'm just gonna pop that back into the oven for a couple minutes just to hopefully get this brie to melt. Either way, it'll heat it up. And then on the bottom half, I'm gonna add a nice layer of this fig jam. And then on top of the fig jam, I'm just gonna add those apple and cinnamon slices. And then next I'll add that delicious herbed tofu. Man, this stuff turned out so good. So here's the brie. It didn't exactly melt, but it did get like really soft. I mean, it's right on the verge of melting, but I think it's gonna work out just fine. It's gonna serve the purpose for sure. And then the last thing I'm gonna add is just some spinach onto the top of the tofu, and then put the sandwich together, cut it in half, and wow, look at that. All right, so looking at it, it might not be the prettiest sandwich ever, but holy smokes, it's gonna be good. I know it's good because I've been testing this recipe for the last few days, and this is perfect, but let me get into it. Wow, there's so much going on here, oh my gosh. So the first thing that hits you is that Italian seasoning on the tofu. The tofu's like so nice and crispy, and the Italian seasoning is actually like a really nice, strong, bold flavor. And then right away, you get the sweetness of the fig jam and the apple, and then just a hint of that cinnamon. It's nice and warm. And then the creaminess of the cheese and like the chewy and crunchy ciabatta bun. Oh my gosh. So this is pretty much the whole reason why I wanted to make this video. I had like a flashback the other day to this sandwich, and I'm like, I have to recreate it. I have to veganize it. It's one of my favorite things to do. But I knew I had to come up with some more recipes for you guys to make this video worthwhile, and I think I actually came up with 2 more amazing ones that are just about on par with this. Not quite as good, but they're pretty amazing. So the next sandwich is a Mediterranean veggie sandwich. So I'm gonna start this one by chopping up some fresh veggies and putting them on a baking tray. So I'm gonna use 2 bell peppers, half an onion, and I like to cut off any sharp edges like these because I find that they just burn. So might as well get rid of those. And 1 large zucchini. So of course you could put any veggies you want in here. Mushrooms would be really good, maybe some artichoke hearts, or even some eggplant if you want. Sprinkle on some black pepper and then roast them at 500 degrees Fahrenheit on close to the top rack. After about 10 minutes or so, you want to start keeping an eye on them because this is when they will start to blacken. And you really do want some of them to blacken because this is what adds so much flavor. So when you notice that, pull out whatever is starting to cook and whatever's starting to blacken and then pop the rest in. The first to finish is probably going to be the peppers. So while that's cooking, we're going to make a few other things that are going to go on this sandwich, and one of them is a really quick and easy oil-free hummus. So just going to start with a blender and then open up a can of chickpeas. And then drain off some of the liquid, but not all of it. So we're also gonna keep this because this is gonna allow us to add some extra liquid to the hummus if it's too dry, and this is gonna help us make it without any oil. So pop the chickpeas into the blender. Then add the juice from half of a lemon, and I always like to squeeze it into another container first, just in case you get any seeds, you know, that slip through. You don't have to go like fishing through all the chickpeas to find it. 2 good-sized cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of tahini, and then just a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and then just blend that up until it's smooth. So if you need to add more liquid, just add some of that aquafaba, but if not, you're good to go. Better give it a quick taste test. Yeah, it's so smooth and creamy, you definitely don't miss the oil. So I've just flipped the zucchini over so that it cooks evenly on both sides, and now I'm just gonna make a really quick avocado spread to put on this. It's actually really good, and when I first made this sandwich, it was just with the hummus, and I was like, it needs just something else, and this is absolutely perfect for it, so check it out. So scoop that ripe avocado into a small bowl. Next, I'm gonna chop up about 8 olives and throw that in there. Then finally chop up a small handful of basil, and then just a little pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and mix that all up. So now that that's all finished and the veggies are all done, I'm just gonna slice into these ciabatta buns and then toast them for a few minutes, get them nice and crispy, and then just build this sandwich. Some hummus on one side of the bun, that avocado spread on the other, and then layer up those veggies. And I'm just gonna finish it off with a little bit of this balsamic glaze. If you don't have any of this, you could just use a bit of regular balsamic or even a spritz of lemon or something like that, but it adds a nice punch to this sandwich. So that is definitely one beautiful looking sandwich. Let's see how it tastes. Wow, perfect. It tastes like something that I would like eat while I'm like sitting on some nice like patio out in like Italy or somewhere like that, having like a glass of wine, even though I don't drink wine, but I feel like it'd probably pair good with this. Man, is this ever good. So while this sandwich is absolutely perfect and beautiful, the next one is not, but it's intended to be that way. I'm gonna show you a plant-based take on the American classic, Sloppy Joes. All right, this one is so simple. All you have to do is chop up half an onion and 1 green bell pepper and saute that for about 5 minutes. Then add 2 cans of drained lentils, 1 cup of tomato sauce, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and I'm gonna be using 1 packet of chili seasoning. But if you don't have this, you could always throw one together yourself using the ingredients on the screen. Mix all that up and then saute it for probably about 10-15 minutes. And that's pretty much it. There's not much to these. It doesn't need any other sauce or anything like that because it already is so saucy. So I'm just having it on some of these freshly toasted burger style buns. So of course you could have it with like a salad or something, but because it is so saucy, it's gonna be dripping on the plate a little bit. I think it's gonna be great with some potato wedges. All right, so this one is definitely not gonna be pretty, but I'll try it anyways. You might want to turn away. Yeah, so this is also so good. Exactly what you would want a sloppy joe to be. I mean, it's messy, but it's also a bit smoky, a bit sweet, salty, and the lentils in place of meat or like ground beef or whatever is just perfect. All right, so I guess that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipes. And just remember, you don't have to use the recipes exactly how I showed you. Like if you don't want to have this sloppy joe mixture in a sandwich, you don't have to do that. If you wanted to make that herbed baked tofu that I made in the first sandwich just on its own and have it with dinner, do that as well if you want. The hummus, that's another great one to know. That is like a super quick and easy, delicious oil-free hummus. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you wouldn't mind. It helps me out a lot in the algorithm. Comment down below and let me know what you thought, and I will see you soon with another video. Here's some other videos of mine that I think you might like, and if you're looking for some delicious and healthy plant-based recipes, check out my new recipe ebook, Easy Vegan Comfort Meals. It contains over 60 plant-based recipes, lots of delicious sauces that I know you're gonna love. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the support.